What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Inside. It is a pleasure to be here, coming to you late night again. That's why I got the crazy hair. This is also known as Corona hair, as my wife is good at the sides and has gotten the sides down pretty well, even though they're a little grown out. But we're still a little nervous about going after the top because I don't want a buzz cut. So I hope you're all dealing with Corona hair, and not to make light of what is going on in our country. It is pretty horrific in many ways, shapes, and forms. But I think in times like this, it's important to be understanding of what's happening, but also try to keep some of our humanity, I guess. And making fun of Corona hair feels like a lighthearted way of taking a jab at what is an otherwise pretty shitty situation. And hopefully we find a vaccine and find ways for people to re-engage with the world, because while I do think I'm a proponent of what we're doing as a country, I do at the same time believe that we as humans can't stay isolated forever, and only bad things will come from too much isolation. But I'm not smart enough, nor have I read enough to know what the answer to that is. I just hope simply that you are being safe, and that you are healthy, and that you are continuing to fight. And that's really what the crux of today's episode is. I want to talk through some of the things I'm doing and give you some very tactical ideas of where I'm at, what's happening in my now 4th month as a startup insurance agency, blasting headfirst into the tidal wave of the Rona, as we say around here. I guess what I wanted to share with you is that, as much as this may not sound like the right way to think about it, we have to view what's happening as an opportunity. And what I mean by that is, this is shitty. It's terrible. Like, we're locked in our homes. I pay for a co-working space that I don't actually use. And though, I could kind of cancel my membership, I want to support them. I want them to stay in business, so I'm paying for that. I can't go down there. You can't meet people for coffee. You can't pop in places. It's very tough to network. This is terrible. And for many agencies, I know this is even worse because you haven't done the work of creating an environment, either culturally or technology-wise, that allows you to work remote or work agnostic of location in the world. And I say that coldly because if you haven't prepared your business for a location agnostic setup, then shame on you. We've been talking about this, myself, Jason Cass, Rick Morgan's been talking about it since the 70s. Steve Anderson has been talking about it since the 70s. Steve Anderson and Rick have run technology newsletters and countless presentations about the fact that there's a huge need to be able to transact business in a virtual capacity. And if you haven't listened, I feel bad for your hardships, but you deserve them. That might be you probably make some of you mad if you heard that, but I don't know what else to say. I built Rogue to compete against your agency. If you know what I mean, like, we're fully virtual, location agnostic. I'm actually, I've been doing some kind of introductory talks with people about possibly being my first agent in addition to myself here. And I've talked to people from Rochester. I've talked to people from this location, though they're obviously going to be working out of their office and their home as well. And location will never matter to our agency. I'm appointed in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Vermont, as well as New York. Massachusetts and Rhode Island are coming. I use electronic signature. I'm using all kinds of, the different various technologies that are necessary, which are really a headset on your phone or your cell phone, e-signature, and a way to produce accord forms, and you can crush, because the accord forms allow you to do commercials. So I have QQ Catalyst. That's what I ended up settling on, was QQ Catalyst from Vertfor and PL Raider. Thank you to Rick Fox for helping me put the agency management system in place, and I'm happy with that decision. And if you're interested in why I made that decision, happy to expand upon it, but that's where I'm at. And most personal lines companies, you can produce e-signable or applications right out of their system. So you don't even need to, you know what I mean? So it's, I guess my point in saying this to you is that the technology is there, it's inexpensive, it's very easy to use, and it's almost as if Corona for our industry, though I don't believe from a biblical standpoint that this is why it's happening, but it's a culling of sorts to the agencies who are unwilling to change their customer experience to what is necessary to deliver a quality product to today's consumer. And that might sound cold, but I've been grinding for 4 months, and I wrote my very first 2 accounts today as of my filming of this. And I've lost some of the compassion. I know some of these things are hard, and I empathize for the difficulty that it takes. But at the same time, enough people have been talking about a scenario. I mean, no one could have predicted this, but predicted a scenario in which a location agnostic agency experience was necessary. And there's no excuses for not doing that outside of a sense of complacency, I guess. So I guess there's that, and that's a very harsh way to start this. I didn't really mean it to be such. I just, I guess what I'm saying is this is an opportunity for you to either grow as an agency and adapt and transform your agency to something that's sustainable and has longevity and has versatility and flexibility and the ability to scale and grow and be dynamic and serve customers the way they want to be served. If you take it that way, if you're already in that position and ready to go, then there are all kinds of opportunities to get in front of consumers who are either open to the conversation and the opportunity of saving or reviewing or just finding someone who's going to be more attentive to them, or helping people who are in need, who are in real need of coverage. And that's actually both of those scenarios are what happened today. Wrote a commercial lines account who was having trouble finding someone who was willing to talk to her about her professional lines needs and her cyber liability needs as she took her business from the physical space to the online space, and someone who just simply was open to looking for what else was available in the market because they were home and they had a little bit of time, and both those scenarios present amazing opportunities for us. And that's really what I wanted to express in this video with you. If I've learned anything over these 4 months, which I've expressed in much crasser ways than this, but it very much feels like you're getting punched in the gut every single day. You're showing up, you're doing the work. I'm learning all these crazy systems that don't talk to each other, that are expensive as hell, that are frustrating, that do only some of the things that I wish they would do, and trying to piece them all together and then going down one path and finding a roadblock and have to back out, and at the same time trying to prospect and trying to deal with carriers and find markets and come up with marketing plans that are going to work, and then to not be writing business at that time, and certainly not having a book of business that I could lean on. I'm scratch, right? I mean, today were my first 2 accounts. My first 2 accounts that I ever written through Rogue Risk were today. It felt like I was getting punched in the gut every day. And I guess what I wanted to share with you at a high level, and we'll get into some detailed stuff because I want to talk to you about some of the actual very tactical things that I'm doing that I think you could reproduce. Ego is our enemy in this industry. And if your ego is such that you feel like I was looking at some things on IAOA where someone was asking about lead sources, and there were a bunch of agents piling in saying, if you buy leads online, you're this, and those are garbage, and those are blah, 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 and just hammering this person for asking about buying leads online. And it's really hard for me to read those comments because I'm buying leads. Like, I'm buying leads every day. I'm producing leads myself every day. I'm buying cold email lists and cold email people. I'm cold calling people. I have people making phone calls and appointment setting for me because you know what? I don't know the answer. I don't have an ego when it comes to this. I don't care what method brings in the business because I have a methodology for the way I'm going to do business. I have a methodology for the type of coverage and experience that I want to provide to people. But how I'm introduced to those people means nothing to me. It means nothing. I have zero ego when it comes to how someone is introduced to me. I would love it if it was all referrals. I've been in the business for 4 months. You know how many referrals you get when you've been in the business for 4 months? You get this many referrals. So you know what you got to do? You got to go out and get the business. Well, when the COVID makes it so no one's either at the office, or you certainly can't come by and stop by the office, or you can't take someone out for coffee or go to a networking event, you know what you got to do? You got to find other methods to reach out to them. Buying leads online is one of those ways. Running Facebook ads is one of those ways. Running YouTube ads, pay-per-click ads, buying aged leads, cold calling leads, having appointment setters, buying email lists off Fiverr and emailing those people, running webinars, doing whatever gimmicky shit gets someone to open up their eyes or their ears for just a moment so that I can give them my pitch, that I can try to help them with a problem, that I can add a little value to their life that maybe gives me a couple more minutes of their time, right? It's give me a sentence, and if I can put the right sentence in front of you, then you're going to give me another sentence, and if I can make that sentence valuable, I get another sentence. If I can string enough of those sentences together, I got a new client. And how I was able to put that first sentence in front of them means nothing to me. And that is my best high-level advice for right now is I don't care how billowy your shirt is. I don't care how big your book of business is. If you're looking to grow and you're struggling, if the phone's not ringing, get rid of the ego. Get rid of the ego and figure out how to make the phone ring. And if you got to drop down to the levels of us peons who don't have major books of business, who need opportunities, and you got to buy some leads, well, then you got to buy some leads, right? You got to pay someone to make phone calls for you. You got to do what you have to do because now is a time that no one was prepared for and no one knows what works. That's the thing. Maybe your idea works. Maybe it doesn't work. You have no idea. I have no idea. So please, my friends, don't have an ego. Or have one and let those of us who don't have one take all the business. Because that's what we're going to do. Because I got to be honest with you, I'm going to figure out what works and I'm going to just hammer that button until it doesn't work anymore. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the next thing that works. Because I'm like the Bruce Lee of insurance prospecting. But, right? Like water fills the cup. The water doesn't define the cup defines the water, and the water, I can't remember exactly what the quote is, but you get the idea, right? You got to be flexible. And I think that there's some macho thing that this is how I get business. I don't give a two flying shits how you get business. Because if you're still getting business that way, that's amazing. But if you're not getting business that way anymore, that way doesn't mean anything. There's no more value to it. So I guess what I'm saying is have an open mind. If you are unable to do that, at least allow your producers or those around you to do what they have to do if that's what they feel is necessary. And there's lots of good programs out there to help you in these new mechanisms if you're struggling with them. There's Nick Ayers' Made You Look marketing, YouTube video, Facebook video marketing course. Tremendous course. Nick is amazing. I've had a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between Nick's course and some other courses? You get Nick. Right? You get to talk to him one-on-one. You get to do his alpha calls with him. That makes the course worthwhile. He's a tremendous resource for our industry. Frank Jimenez and the Tribe. You want someone in his company who actually does it for you, Quotely, who I am a client of, right? Driving a ton of personal lines business to me. I got a ton of quotes that are starting to stack up. I just started with him, but his stuff works. Frank's a great guy. I love the way his mind thinks. He's a cold-blooded killer when it comes to driving leads off Facebook and pay-per-click advertising. Frank's going to be a big part of my future. And I'm really starting to get comfortable with the way he works, and I love that stuff, right? join Jason Cass's insurance mastermind, right? Like Cass isn't doing the work for you, but he's introducing you to every single person who you could possibly want to know. Go get a VA and have them cold call for you. Ben and Wes over at Agency VA, I can't speak highly enough. I mean, they are an integral part of what I'm doing. I mean, literally an integral part of what I'm doing in terms of cold calling, commercial lines business, and setting appointments for me, warming people up. It's, there are so many opportunities to either learn it or have someone do it for you for a reasonable cost, for a cost that's worthwhile. There's so many quality professionals. I mean, I just named 3 companies that will get you there. I mean, you want to learn automation, talk to Austin Moorhead and Lava Automation. I mean, all those things that I mentioned, you plug those into something like Infusionsoft, with what Austin Moorhead is doing with Infusionsoft, or Chad Spade is doing with Infusionsoft. I mean, now you're talking about not just like incremental growth, but rocket ship, logarithmic growth. I mean, these are the people that I'm networking with and I'm learning from every single day. So there's just so many opportunities. There's no like, I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, ask somebody. That's what I do. I don't know the answer to all this stuff. You know what I do? I ask people. I ask people stuff all the time. Carruthers, Killing Commercial. Like, I mean, I'm using Carruthers' stuff every single day. I mean, David Carruthers, and then the people I've met inside of Carruthers' thing, like Ricky Hayter. I mean, I'm talking to these guys like every day, every other day. We're swapping cold calling scripts. We're swapping copy for marketing, for direct mail drops, which I did my first direct mail drop this week. Like, I'll let you know how that goes. I'm trying everything because we've never seen a time like this before. We have no idea what's going to work. No ego. Ask for help. Reach out. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you don't know, ask. There are people who are willing to help. A lot of people who are willing to help. Some really high quality professionals, some amazing people who are willing to help. And that's what I want you to take from this video, is that there are tons of tactics, and you don't have to know them all. You don't even have to know some of them. Just ask. And, Frank will introduce you to Austin, and Austin will introduce you to Wes and Ben, and Wes and Ben will introduce you to Carruthers, and Carruthers will introduce you to Raga up at Tarmica, just wait till my Tarmica portal launches. It's going to be like, Tarmica is going to change the game, my friends. Change the game. I couldn't be more excited. So and then it's just amazing. Like the hard workers, the grinders, the people who are making stuff happen. It is just amazing how all these nodes connect with each other. And all you have to do is engage to be part of it. This isn't some secret. This isn't like some skulls thing that you get from being a douchey Ivy League school. These are just regular people who figured a thing out, and then they connect with other people that help them connect their thing. And if you engage and you add value and you come in from a place of wanting to support others and wanting to grow and work hard, man, the network is just out of this world. It's out of this world. I mean, I just, every once in a while I call Grant Botma, or I get to talk to Grant Botma on a Zoom call, and the things I get from that guy every time about mindset, attitude, it's incredible. Matt Namoli, right? Zach Gould. I mean, these guys, what they've done and the way the difference that they approach it and the mindset difference that these two guys have, you get one story from Matt and one story from Zach. And I don't mean story like their approach is different but equal, and it's amazing, right? And these are the people that are available to you if you engage. And I that's what I want you to do, is drop. This is a crazy, terrible time. Drop the ego, ask for help, go find the people who know how to do the thing that you want to know how to do. And I promise you, they're going to be willing to help you, or they're going to point you to someone who can. And that's how we move forward. That's how we move forward. I promise you. I'm fired up tonight because sold a couple accounts. That's got me fired up. And man, it felt amazing to think that 4 months ago, Rogris didn't exist. and I've manifested it into a business that actually produces revenue and is writing business, and all the work with the carriers and the systems and the branding and the website and the marketing. And now it's a thing. And so many of you have already done that. And what I'm saying is, don't let the fact that you're X further than me down the line stop you from asking help. Stop you from asking for help, because there are people that will help you. I'll help you as much as I can, but I just told you, like, I don't really know shit. I just lean on all these guys. Also, produce video. Stop being crazy. I work out of this little tiny room. I produce more video than basically the entire insurance industry put together. Produce more video. Tell your story. Get to work. I'm doing it because it's what I have believed for the last decade, and people are acting surprised that this is like my primary tactic. I mean, produce video, tell your story, answer client questions. They will reach out to you, I promise. My friends, be safe, be healthy, keep fighting. Do not bury your head in the sand during this time. Keep fighting, my friends. I'm here for you. There are so many other people that are here for you, and if you want to connect with them and I can help you get that connection, I will. I love you for watching this. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm out of here. Peace!